And I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Oh yeah, so no, I told Casabone and zombies, cat zombies. Today I'm gonna try to be less interactive with you guys. So if you want to interact with each other a bit more, because Howard told me it's a long one today. It's gonna be definitely more than 5 hours. So if you see me not interacting with you guys as much, it's nothing against you, nothing against y'all. But it's just I came back today from flight and I just don't want to spend 5 hours on reading. Okay, so we have Dr. Bleep as our next author. I'm trying to figure out which one is the last one we heard from them. Looks like 2431. It's a 2431. 2431 was the last one we. It was it's the protein mass that shapeshifts into different objects or creatures. It's also connected to origami to a little bit of an extent, but yeah, because at the end I believe it did shapeshift into was it a peacock or a flamingo, one or the other. But it was like I believe it was very inspired by Japanese tales. So that's the one that Dr. Bleep wrote last time, and this time we have Sean Connery. Oh my God, Sean Connery. Ovipositing 300x daily. Shaken not stirred. We've got a bit of Sean Connery today. Okay. And this one is shorter than that. This one is shorter than the last one. That's good to know. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SB2491 is to be contained within a outdoor enclosure with 20-kilometer. Well, Sean Connery is he's more Scottish, isn't he? Am I mistaken? Am I wrong? He's not. He's not. Yeah, it's Scottish. I can do an impression of him really easily, but yeah. I mean, if there's any yeah, okay, there is some interview stuff because the normal log stuff I usually read in my own voice, but if there's interview stuff, I will give them the Sean Connery. The northern direction, the boundaries are to be more than wait, hold on. Between the enclosure and the northern direction, the boundaries are to be no more than 5 kilometers apart. The enclosure area is to be designated a no-fly zone. CCTV cameras are installed along the fence line in all directions at 30-meter intervals. Additional CCTV cameras have been placed directly inside or around the structure for observation purposes. Observations should be maintained at all times. Civilians attempting to enter successfully entering the containment enclosure are to be apprehended and administered class A amnestics are required. -1 instances attempting to scale the containment fencing are to be redirected through the use of amplified auditory and olfactory stimuli belonging to predators of the European honeybee. Research personnel entering SB2491 for direct observation and exploration purposes are to observe standard biological safety protocols and non-typical pre-protection gear. I was stung by a bee. My own bee as well. SB2491 is a large geological structure closely resembling hives of the European honeybee located 60 kilometers south of Edinburgh, Scotland. The structure is approximately 200 meters in diameter. That's a big hive. It has a single large 5-meter opening on the southern face. God damn! The interior of SB2491 resembles the standard hive structure of the European honeybee, including topographical vertical honeycomb layers with the presence of multiple caverns, several of which contain furniture and decoration commonly present in Western social establishments. I would kind of like to walk into a beehive and just see how that looks. If I was able to walk into it without being stung, just looking around, oh, this is interesting structure. And it's just this giant, 3-meter tall bee, thanks, man, I built myself. SB2491 is populated by a number of anomalous entities that take on the appearance and demeanor of the various film and book iterations of fictional British spy James Bond. Want to respond? James Bond. hereby dubbed -1. -1 instances are, well, my name is B. James. My name is B. James B. I like my honey shaken, not stirred. Instances are notable in that they wear formal attire and are able to perform a number of seemingly impossible biological feats, which parallel normal biological functions of the European honeybee. -1 instances are organized into functional roles based on appearance. These functional roles appear to parallel the castes of a standard European honeybee colony. Oh, okay. And they are described below. SB2491 has one -1 instance which presides over all the iterations paralleling the queen in a normal bee colony. This ruling caste has the following attributes. Appearance resembles that of actor Sean Connery in the 1962 Bond film Dr. No. Smokes what are believed to be Cuban cigars, lays 300 eggs each 50 centimeters in diameter every 24 hours. It does say paralleling the queen in a normal bee culture, that makes sense. Secretes a large number of pheromones which appear to dictate the behavior of all other -1 instances. The idea of like a James Bond looking bee being the queen and be like, why push it on you, cunning linguist? Outside of this ruling caste, -1 instance can be broken down into drones, workers, and larvae. The drone caste performs analogous functions to the drones of a normal bee colony, usually expiring shortly after fertilizing the queen. Composition of this caste is described below. Composed of multiple iterations of Bond's creator, Ian Fleming, acts and behaves similar to that of the written characterization of his Bond characters. Engages with the ruling caste in a series of seductive attempts to ritualistically procreate, often using phrases such as, I have tasted your mind and cannot forget its flavor, alongside various impressive physical feats to court the queen. Expires shortly after fertilizing the queen. Cause of death in all recovered instances have been due to severing of the spinal cord at the neck. Ooh. Spicy. My name is B. BB. The majority of -1 instances are members of the workers caste. Workers carry out a number of roles and are split into 3 subdivisions based on unknown predetermined characteristics. These 3 subdivisions are described below. God, fucking beginning the whole the whole explanation of the office work. Maintains and transport workers, composed of iterations resembling actor Roger Moore. I wondered if the other actors will be involved somehow, and Timothy Dalton. Do we have a Daniel Craig? Are responsible for maintenance of the hive structure, often wielding overly complex construction tools, generate copious amounts of wax from their bodies, transport nectar and royal jelly through the hive. Notably, -1 instances appear to mention royal jelly as Her Majesty's Connery's fantastic jelly. Several instances will regularly take collected nectar and synthesize large amounts of alcoholic beverages, especially martinis. Agitate with a tool, not gravity. What? Instances remove flowers from forages directly and will proceed to chew, swallow, and regurgitate the items until it takes on a mint coloration, at which point they will regurgitate it into a nearby honeycomb. Then we have mortuary and nurses. Iterations resemble actor George Lazenby. Engage in nursing behavior with larval bond iterations, providing sustenance through self-secreted jelly and martinis. Engage in mortuary behavior, moving expired bond iterations 2 kilometers from the structure. During burial and mourning procedures, -1 instances will bow their heads briefly, footnote says, at intervals of no more than 3 seconds. Following this motion, instances will procure balls of liquor, alternate between drinking the substance and pouring it onto the side of the burial, while uttering witticisms about the nature of the instant's death. You think the stingers are guns? Golden Stinger. James Bond, BB, Golden Stinger. Foraging Scouts. -1 iteration closely resemble actor Pierce Brosnan's portrayal of Bond in the 2002 film Die Another Day. Engage in collection of pollen, nectar, and large amounts of flowering plants by bending at the waist and pressing their faces into the interior of brightly colored species of flowers. Following this gesture, instances are observed to gently remove the flowering part of the plant and place it within a concealed cavity on the abdomen. Forays of this kind are known to occur within a 10-kilometer radius of this structure, with the exception of the northern direction where instances have been observed to venture no more than 5 kilometers away. Footnote says, although observation has shown that instances prefer to forage in the south and western directions, all the instances tend to avoid forays north, possibly due to the human population centers. In the words organized... Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna read that. Sorry. During scouting/foraging efforts, instances will move through the forest in a non-linear manner, taking diagonal routes between open walking spaces. Observation has shown that instances will in fact roll from tree to tree, pressing their backs against the tree following each roll. I gotta make a thumbnail of James Bond looking like a bee. God damn it. Following a successful foraging effort, instances will engage in a series of ritualistic dances emulating several complex ballroom-style techniques. Footnote says, often incorporating elements of waltz, mambo, salsa, merengue, and occasional West Coast swing. These dances are usually performed with another member of the foraging/scouting sub-role and can last up to 3 hours. God damn. I need a nature documentary of this SCP. That would actually be kind of fire. The larval cast is composed of just call it like James Bond hive mind. That's the name of it. James Bond hive mind, because that would sound like an actual James Bond movie. And then just make it a documentary about bees that happen to look like all the Bond actors. The larval cast is composed of young and freshly hatched Bond iterations, where all -1 appear as miniature versions of actor Daniel Craig's portrayal of the character in the film Casino Royale. There we go. Now we have all of them. As larva matures into full-grown Bond iterations, they will... Do you guys think when the next James Bond actor shows up, this SCP has to update? They're like, oh shit! What else can we add another Bond into it? They will take an appearance on mannerism of the specific cast. Larvae marked to become members of the ruling cast are fed Her Majesty's Connery's Fantastic Jelly by intending nurse Bonds, at which time they begin to take on the appearance of Sean Connery. So they just, from Daniel Craig, just slowly morph into Sean Connery, like, attempts to establish communication with -1 instances have met with aggressive action, resulting in the death of few personnel and injuries. Another footnote. Cause of death was noted to have been due to severe anaphylactic shock, and in some instances blood loss due to impalement. So, okay, so they will sting you, and yeah, the sting is probably fucking massive. Observation log O-2461-01. The following section is composed of synopsis of remote CCTV observation from SCP-2491. Date and time of observation June 5th, 2013, 13:43 o'clock till 13:59 o'clock. A recently installed CCTV camera within the structure's Royal Honeycomb section recorded a complete fertilization ritual involving a single drone and the ruling cast individual at the time. Video log transcriptions have been edited to remove extraneous conversation. Begin log. A single drone instant entered the chamber from the northwest face from a hole 30 meters above the floor. The instance is noted to be wearing a pair of tight checkered pants and no shirt or shoes. The drone begins climbing down the honeycomb slowly. The drone's back is noted to display several large bony skin-covered protrusions typical of a human anatomy. Footnote. Procurement requests for live subjects are awaiting approval. The drone climbs from the hole to approximately 3 meters above the floor of the chamber, at which time the instance looks over its shoulders before pushing off from the wall, flipping mid-air and landing upright. One arm stretched behind itself and the other extended forwards, offering what is known to be a single red carnation. The ruling instance at the time is known to have shown no perceivable reaction to this display. Following the drone's landing, approximately 10 seconds of silence pass before the ruling instance rises. The drone was what again? Ian Fleming. I don't know how Ian Fleming sounds like. So, Bond, James Bond, At your service. The drone maintains position at the ruling instance, claps slowly 3 times before descending from its throne. Congratulations, Mr. Bond. Your physical prowess precedes you. The ruling instance stops at the base of the honeycomb steps, pausing for a moment before continuing its speech. Tell me, why should you be the one to foster the next brood? The drone maintains its stance, red carnation still presented forward. I'm giving you the opportunity to make the hive as brilliant as myself. The ruling instance is observed to smirk at this comment. I'm giving you the chance to shake and not stir. Shake and not stirred. Funny. I don't see any bubbles. The ruling instance lasts for 10 seconds. Wit and physical prowess. Impressive, Mr. Bond. Very impressive. Tell me, Your Majesty, do you like wild things? Wild? You should be locked up in a honeycomb with me. Ooh, we're getting spicy. The drone is observed to abandon its previous stance as the ruling instance makes several hand gestures. The drone approaches the ruling instance and hands in the carnation, bowing its head briefly. The ruling instance presses its nose into the flower and visibly inhales. Ah, carnations, my favorite. I have a particular knack for finding red flowers. Perhaps I shall call you Iron. My Charlemagne, yes. A drone and ruling instance are observed to begin what is now believed to be the fertilization ritual. Nice. James Bond is getting it on. Beginning when the ruling instance opens 3, they're expunged. The ruling instance is observed standing over the drone after the fertilization ritual has finished. The drone's body is positioned in a manner such that the observation of the head and neck regions are impossible, with the ruling instance blocking them from view. The ruling instance's abdomen is known to be swollen, especially in and around typical locations of the gastrointestinal tract. Such a shame, he didn't even finish his martini. Delicious. Definitely shaken. The queen is observed to take 5 steps away from the drone in the direction of the throne chamber before stopping mid-stride and rotating its head 180 degrees. Only its head? Dried green fluid dripping from its mouth. The drone body is observed to have been severed at the neck. Seems to have lost his head in the pursuit of love. Just a little bee joke for you guys out there watching me. Watching me. Now, if you excuse me, I am off to give birth to 500 children. That is a fun one. I like that one. It's so silly. It's so silly, but that's exactly why I like it. Who would think of like a beehive made out of all the different Bond actors? Like that is out there. That's out there. It's crazy. It's funny. I love that. My name is Bond. My name is Bond. James Bond, and this is my hive of diligent bee bonds. We have every type of bond in here. We like our martini, honey, shaken, not stirred. Not stirred. There's a image in the files. Okay, let me go back. Let me spoil myself the. Okay, files. There we go. Sean Connery, TR. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's just Sean Connery wearing a tiara. Gorgeous. Gorgeous man. Even though it was a little bit problematic at the end, but like still, you know. He was a good Bond. Very good Bond. Very good Bond.